Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. And today, as you would notice, I talked about or said that we will be trying to talk about embracing a constancy in our life and finding freedom in whatever is familiar to us. Now, what happens is that anything that is constant can become boring, right? And if it becomes boring, then you get into a sort of frame of stagnation. So let's explore something very transformative, which will tell us what constancy can do to us to find our freedom in whatever is familiar around us and not get into a state of stagnation or procrastination or laziness or boring or undivided, within ourselves that we can't. It leads to a pattern where we get affected very badly, right? So settle down, sit comfortably, and close your eyes if you want to, just to listen to this also. So most of us, we love newness, anything that is new clothes, new ideas, new places, new experiences. They bring a certain freshness, of course, and energy, don't they? And we feel vibrant and a lot of vitality. But sometimes, in that excitement for change, we lose touch with the power of staying. Now, I'll give you a very simple example. For example, every year you plan or want to go for a holiday, right? So you really look forward to it. You plan for it, you do things, maybe also buy new clothes, plan the whole itinerary, what all you're going to do. There's a lot of excitement. You go, you do that, you complete it, and then you come back. And when you come back, a lot of people do say, of course, we came back rejuvenated and charged. But there are a lot of people who say, it's so boring, I just want to get out again. Now, getting out again all the time is not something that is a constant. It will not provide you that solace that you're looking for. It will not provide you that stability, either in your mind or in your thoughts or in your feelings. And that can lead to a lot of discontent in our lives, isn't it? So, what does constancy do when we talk of the power of staying? Constancy helps us to deepen, to master, and to grow roots. While change, of course, often helps us to expand. Again, I come back to my favorite topic. Think of the tree. The tree stands there as a constant, but that doesn't mean it is not going to keep growing. It may also find excitement parts within a jungle itself where to make its own branches grow. Have you seen a jungle? Everything, a forest or for that matter, not a jungle maybe. There are so many trees and plants growing there, but each of them is static to where they are. But they still find their way along, in terms of a change of direction here, a look for the sun over there, right? And maybe bend and break some parts of it because it feels it can't handle that baggage, which is not needed for it. But it's still there, constant. The trunk never changes, the trunk is there. So if we understand that both are needed as part of our lives, instead of rejecting the constant, right? Because if we reject the constant, what happens? We lose our grounding. So a tree, when it falls, there's a huge gap over there. There's a huge hole which is created over there, right? It can't be filled. So those gaps are there because we rejected our constant. I hope it's making sense. Can you give me a thumbs up for it? Because I'm talking a little high today, I feel. But that's how it came. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Now, imagine, again, imagine a gardener. And imagine him replacing plants every few weeks. The garden looks new each time. But in the process, no plant is able to grow steadily and constantly in that place. It's okay for pretty flowers which are there for a short while, seasonal, etc. But if we create a garden which you plan and you say with your garden, okay, here I want these trees, here I want this, here I want that, and the garden, the plants can keep coming and going, seasonal. So what does constancy do? It gives you roots to deepen, and its shade provides a lot of benefits to all of us. It also allows the flowers to bloom around it. It's not saying don't grow. But then there is a balance of both, right? Now, let's look at us as mentors or, meditators, all of us who are, sort of mentors or guides for all of you, or any other person for that matter. Any of the gurus, I mean, the famous gurus that we have known to us these days, I mean, like Sri Sadhguru and many more. Now imagine, now they have a technique, right? Let's say they have a technique for their meditation. Now imagine if they change their technique every single day. You would not be grounded, because to fall into a pattern where you understand the meditation, you need to follow a certain constant way of doing it, right? Sometimes it can get boring, but then maybe some sparks are added to it. But the base and the foundation remains the same. So what happens? If there are techniques changing every day, you are only looking forward to, okay, what's going to happen today? But you're not looking forward to what can provide you that, a calmness or the peace or the stillness or the grounding that can come with practice, right? So what happens? You may explore many paths, but never reach the stillness that comes as is needed from, let's say, repetition and devotion. Why do we chant the mantras? Why do we chant? You may be also chanting many mantras. Why do we do it? Why do we say in Radical that say these statements 21 times for 21 days at least? Sometimes we say you need to do it for 3 months, 6 months, etc. Why? Because the constancy of it instills in you that feeling that, yes, I am allowing myself to surrender. I am allowing myself to let go, because in the beginning, when you start anything, it's all coming from the conscious mind. And slowly, when you go on knocking on that conscious mind with the constancy of repetition of affirmations, there is a dent. And when that dent grows, there is a breakthrough. And then you start connecting to your subconscious mind. So for people who feel, oh, I have said the statements 21 times, nothing has happened. It can't. Oh, I have done this, for 7 days and nothing has happened. I don't feel the change. Why? Because you're looking for those results as if it's a magic potion which should happen in 7 days. No. Homeopathy tells you to keep having that medicine for a long time. That's a constant. Anything to change needs a constant, including Ayurveda, anything. Yoga, they're the fixed asanas. You have to do them. You can't say that, okay, this asana, I can't do, or I will not do because it's so boring. I need to do something else. And if you try to follow any other form of exercise, which is great, but end of the day, they're all connected to the yogic postures that you may have been doing otherwise. But because it's got another name, maybe you're attracted to that, which is also fine. But then stick with that. Because after some time, you'll find yourself bored even of that and want to come back to where you are. Right? So, yes, we do like to grow in our careers, for sure. But if we are very clear about what we want to do with our career, not that today I'm offered a job as a salesperson, and tomorrow I'm fed up of sales, I don't want to do it, I want to go into marketing, I'm fed up of marketing, I want to do HR. You are not establishing yourself as a person who is absolutely a professional in whatever field you choose. There is a very famous phrase that says, "Jack of all trades, master of none." We know that. So I'm not saying you have to stick to, that one job from day one to the day you retire. No. But there is a discipline. Once you learn that discipline in staying steady in a job or in a career or in a focus or in anything that you are dedicating yourself to, when you uh, create that discipline inside you, what are you developing? You are developing that quiet excellence. And when you excel in that field, the world is your stage. You can do anything, go anywhere, perform anything, etc. Look at all the singers. Look at Lata Mangeshkar. Look at Kishore Kumar. Look at anyone else for that matter. Mukesh, Talat Mahmood, anyone. Take any name. Asha Bhosle. Lata's style was different and she was consistent with it. But it worked. Asha's style was different, is different. And she has made that because she started with the same, let's say, as Lata Mangeshkar. But then somewhere the masters, the universe, and all the music directors also realized that her potential is very much different from what Lata's is. Not that Lata was any less, but that was her choice. I will stay with these kind of songs. Asha moved on further, and even today, you see all the dance numbers are all Asha's. You see all the, soulful singing that people want to sing in groups. They're all Lata. But they were constant in their fields, right? Same thing happens in relationships. The real beauty is not in the highs and surprises every single day. Life cannot be that much of surprises. There is a constancy that is needed. And then people get, feel let down. Is this what partnership is all about? Counting the bills, settling and doing things, planning for next day, every day for cooking, managing my home, managing my office. Is that what it was all meant to be? But that is the rhythm of everyday life. And when you accept that rhythm of everyday life, you start accepting the quiet rhythms of love. Because there is an understanding that is created between you and your partner. It's not about, holding hands and walking, and that is not love. I mean, okay, that's one aspect of love, but what is love? Love is being a constant with each other as a nurturer, as a provider, as a carer, as a giver, open to take. Either it is criticism or love, anything. But what is the steady factor behind it is your grounding in your marriage. Taking all that comes in it with that same kind of grace and acceptance. Right? So constancy doesn't mean monotony. It means stability with awareness. And it means showing up with sincerity again and again, even when the day feels ordinary or life feels ordinary. Does that make sense to all of us? Any responses to that? No one? 100%. Somebody, Srividya says, okay. Thank you. Okay, so now let's prepare ourselves to realign from restlessness to rhythm, from excitement to steadiness, from change to calm constancy. So take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel your body relax. Feel your breath settle. Feel yourself saying as you inhale, I accept stability. And when you exhale, just say, I release restlessness. I accept stability. I release restlessness. Let your breath keep flowing with this thought like a steady river, calm, gentle, continuous. Return to normal breathing. Invoke your healing masters, healing guides, healing angels, your higher consciousness, radical consciousness, love consciousness, prosperity consciousness, your teachers, mentors, gurus, and guides. Seek their guidance, seek their partnership, seek their assurance, and seek their blessings as you continue your journey as per your life plan with the full understanding that to be constant is to be calm. To be constant is to be steady. To be constant is to follow a rhythm. And as you journey forward with ease and effortlessness, see yourself connecting to the superconsciousness and the prime resource energy. Collect all your personal thoughts and emotions wherever they are disintegrated and in the universe. See them entering you centering you. And when you feel calm and centered, take another deep breath and say the affirmations with me or after me, allowing each affirmation to sink inside you like a seed in perfect, fertile soil. I archive my resistance to routine. I archive my resistance to routine. I archive my resistance to routine. I archive my restlessness for constant changes. I archive my restlessness for constant changes. I archive my restlessness for constant changes. I archive my belief that newness equals happiness. I archive my belief that newness equals happiness. I archive my belief that newness equals happiness. I archive my aversion to predictability. I archive my aversion to predictability. I archive my aversion to predictability. I archive my constant boredom with the familiar. I archive my constant boredom with the familiar. I archive my constant boredom with the familiar. I archive my belief that excitement defines success. I archive my belief that excitement defines success. I archive my belief that excitement defines success. I archive my habit of leaving things halfway. I archive my pattern of leaving things halfway. I archive my pattern of leaving things halfway. I archive my inability to stay patient with the process. I archive my inability to stay patient with the process. I archive my inability to stay patient with the process. I archive my tendency to escape routine commitments. I archive my tendency to escape routine commitments. I archive my tendency to escape routine commitments. I archive my discomfort with repetition. I archive my discomfort with repetition. I archive my discomfort with repetition. I find my fear that constancy means stagnation. I find my fear that constancy means stagnation. I find my fear that constancy means stagnation. I find my association of consistency with monotony. I find my association of consistency with monotony. IR5, my association of consistency with monotony. IR5, my self-judgment for not sticking with discipline. IR5, my self-judgment for not sticking with discipline. IR5, my self-judgment of not sticking with discipline. IR5, my guilt for rejecting what's steady and sure. IR5, my guilt for rejecting what's steady and sure. IR5, my guilt for rejecting what's steady and sure. IR5, my need to constantly chase something new. IR5, my need to constantly chase something new. IR5, my need to constantly chase something new. IR5, my inherited belief that routine kills creativity. IR5, my inherited belief that routine kills creativity. IR5, my inherited belief that routine kills creativity. IR5, my habit of replacing steadiness with stimulation. IR5, my habit of replacing steadiness with stimulation. IR5, my habit of replacing steadiness with stimulation. IR5, my fear of being bored by stability. IR5, my fear of being bored by stability. IR5, my fear of being bored by stability. IR5, my inner resistance to long-term commitments. IR5, my inner resistance to long-term commitments. IR5, my inner resistance to long-term commitments. IR5, my inability to see beauty in the familiar. IR5, my inability to see beauty in the familiar. IR5, my inability to see beauty in the familiar. IR5, my tendency to undervalue persistence. IR5, my tendency to undervalue persistence. IR5, my tendency to undervalue persistence. IR5, my craving for instant change and quick results. IR5, my craving for instant change and quick results. IR5, IR5, my craving for instant change and quick results. IR5, my need to prove myself by rejecting routine. IR5, my need to prove myself by rejecting routine. IR5, my need to prove myself by rejecting routine. IR5, my impatience with the steady pace of life. IR5, my impatience with the steady pace of life. IR5, my impatience with the steady pace of life. IR5, my past conditioning that glorified inconsistency. IR5, my past conditioning that glorified inconsistency. IR5, my past conditioning that glorified inconsistency. IR5, my appreciation and acceptance of constancy. IR5, my appreciation and acceptance of constancy. IR5, my appreciation and acceptance of constancy. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Feel that quiet constancy in you. Feel the quiet peace in you. The peace that comes from being steady, grounded, and consistent. Just remember, constancy is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of rhythm, the rhythm of life. It is like that constant sacred heartbeat of life. Sunrise after sunrise, season after season, breath after breath, which are all constant. It is what holds the whole universe together. And it is what you can make it hold you together. So as you move forward, Let constancy be your calm. Let familiarity be your foundation. Let discipline be your devotion. Stay rooted, grow deep, and bloom beautifully again and again. Now feel all this entering in each and every cell, fiber, muscle, tissue, organ, and chakras of your body. See yourself aligning to it. Sense the frequency and vibrations making you feel synchronized. And when you feel that you are synchronizing and aligning to it, just repeat after me. I see my constancy. I feel my constancy. I acknowledge my constancy. I love and accept my constancy. I honor my constancy. I honor the brilliance in my constancy. I am my constancy, and my constancy is me. Once again, I see my constancy. I feel my constancy. I acknowledge my constancy. I love and accept my constancy. I honor my constancy. I honor the brilliance in my constancy. I am my constancy, and my constancy is me. Inhale again deeply to retain this in your 7 major chakras. And when you feel a sense of completion and fulfillment, grounded, and at the same time rooted, calm, take another deep breath. Rub your palms together. Massage your face, your body, your arms, your legs, your face, your scalp. And when you feel completely settled, you may open your eyes. Take your time. Any thoughts, any feelings, any questions, any inputs that you would like to also add? Yes, Pratiksha.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. So this whole week, the recitations have been so perfect for me, like aligning me the whole week. It's been so perfect. Just today, when you said, when you were talking about constancy, a thought came to my mind. That constancy would be related to perfectionism, right? Like when you're constant, you can achieve perfection, but also would perfection be like a roadblock? Something like an obsession. I'm not able to straighten out that thought in my head.
Right. Very good question for Pratiksha. So, constancy doesn't mean that you stick or get stuck with the thought of perfection. Constancy is a flow too. Something that may be very perfect today may need a change tomorrow, right? So, if something is so
Right.
perfect, that again would become boring. So,
Right.
you get it? So, constancy is not promoting that, okay, you get that thing and it is done and it is finished. But it is something where you have to have that openness to accept that that constancy which has led me to perfection can maybe lead me further to achieve something more divine. I'm not talking of just as, spiritual divine. Even in that perfection, there could be something where divinity of further perfection is awaiting you, which means you have to grow. You have to make that effort to make that constancy become something which is in the rhythm that creates certain patterns, certain flow, certain vibrations that consistently resonate with you, your growth, and your fulfillment. Yeah, does that make sense, Pratiksha?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, the flow part, I can understand. I am perfectionist, and that kind of hinders me a lot. I was wondering, like, and I'm not somebody, like, especially recently, who's been able to maintain a flow. And with the recitation, I did realize how it is so important. Like you said, like there are asanas you do. Yes, you can bring in a little bit of variety, do it in a different place or do it slightly differently. But somewhere, I don't know why I have that thing stuck in my head about perfectionism.
So
The
that is a belief system that you have, that perfectionism means it has to be like this. That is not
right.
perfectionism. Perfectionism
Uh-huh.
is being able to flow into that pattern to know that, okay, this will provide perfectionism for me, but it doesn't have to be the way I see it, because that is ego.
Okay.
That is ego. That this is the only
Okay.
way of
Okay.
perfectionism. Unless one person and somebody has an OCD or something, that is different. Like I had a cousin who, like we're sitting in the living room together. I'm sure a lot of us may have experienced it personally or with others. So if you're sitting in the living room, it's not necessarily her house, anybody else's house. A person gets up. So the cushion at the back, goes straight up. She would get up immediately
Ah,
and put it back straight. First, we didn't take
right. Yeah.
notice of it, that what is it? And then suddenly we realized that she wanted everything to be in order the way she sees it.
Right.
Now,
Right.
that is an obsession. That is not perfectionism. But in her mind, for her, perfectionism means everything has to be in order the way she sees it. Today she's fine. She's done a lot of radical. She's perfectly okay with things just lying here, lying there, which gives a feeling of warmth and home, and not that everything has to be stacked in order. So you see, perfectionism can be an hindrance. So you have to decide what perfection means for you and how you want to translate it. Does that make sense
So
now?
should we necessarily, yeah, should we not necessarily aim for perfection? It's like
It
karma
happens.
karo. Uh-huh. So
Apna
it's okay,
karma.
but not to get stuck with the idea.
That's what the Bhagavad Gita says, no?
Hmm.
कर्म किए जा फल की इच्छा मत कर.
Hmm.
Fal means we are looking for that perfectionism. Just keep doing
Right. So
what.
kind of just do it and surrender.
Absolutely, flow with the flow. That is all what radical also teaches you, flow with the flow of life. Right?
Hmm.
Check your,
Yeah.
your solar and your sacral chakras. There is some
Yeah.
locha over there.
There is a lot of load. I have to sort it out.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really helped. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, Revati.
I love the word locha. It is a lochas in our life, which brings so much of change in our life.
Yeah.
I love the way you started with regards the garden, and I could resonate with the dynamism of the constancy, like the galaxy that we have.
Mm.
That is what came in my mind, and that is what I did in my mind shared with you.
Mm.
It's constantly moving, yet there's a certain constancy to it. And
Absolutely.
I could resonate with the Omkar and the Soham, which I have shared, and it feels so good.
Mm.
It's amazing.
That's true. So,
And I'm forever grateful to you for all the things that, this gentle shifts that you bring in our life. There is imperfection in perfection, perfection in imperfection. When we accept that, life becomes so beautiful. I get goosebumps in my body when I think of all the words that you've shared. Amazing. Radical is fantastic. Thank you so much.
absolutely. We are all grateful to Radical for continuously guiding us and taking us on the path where sometimes we don't even know, that maybe we are already walking it, but we are not aware of it. So, yeah, it is just that awareness. Once that awareness comes in, then everything that you want to achieve, to do, to gain, to fulfill, to submit, to surrender, to believe in, not belief systems, but to believe in, it all starts opening out because you're doing it with awareness, with an awakening and an understanding that leads to appreciation of everything around you. Right? Thank you, Revati. Thank you. Anyone else would like to say something, ask something, share
Yeah,
something?
ma'am, I have a question.
Yes?
Yeah. So, ma'am, I could very much relate because I have an issue being consistent in doing things. Like, I kind of like my concentration goes, I'm not like very consistent. So I want to understand. I know the broader meaning, but the how would you say in your terms the difference between constancy and consistency? Like, I think this is slight.
Yeah. So the axis is a constant and the whole earth is surround, consistently moving around it. Does that explain to
Oh,
you?
yes, yes, yes.
That's the thought that came
Yeah,
to my mind because the earth is moving around
yeah.
constantly. I mean, but it's moving constantly, but it is moving consistently. It's not changing its speed. It's not changing its, gravitational force. It is not sort of slowing down. It's a constant. So that is the consistent pattern the earth is following. So does the moon. So does the sun. And that is why we get the seasons accordingly, right? We know that, okay,
Yeah,
November to February, it's going to be cold in the north, or, winter or monsoon or summer. Why? Can you imagine the chaos that can happen if our earth stops spinning or starts spinning at a faster speed? No. So it is doing it consistently, even though it may be boring for the earth. But the earth is doing it consistently. So there's a constancy in that. But the axis is constant. It's at that angle and it stays there. And that's how the whole thing is maintained in full synchronicity. Does that
yes.
explain?
Thank you, ma'am.
It?
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, because we are in so digitally fastly moving era where I get deviated so well. If I'm scrolling, I'll be scrolling for hours and hours, and I forget to do other things. So I understand, and thank you, ma'am. This is so beautiful that you know how every small things you have picked up and you have told like why it is the way it is, and it's not boring, or how stability brings this.
Yeah.
So I have to revisit because I can personally relate so much this.
Beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Beautiful. No, but another thing, all of us have to realize one thing. We all know it. And we say it to others, we say it to the kids, but imagine all of us are also addicts of social media. We can use it, correctly. We can have a constancy in that also. It's not a devil or something. It is something beautiful because it's a big help to all of us in terms of expanding our knowledge base. Now that everybody is living in a world where it is a kind of isolated times, each one has their own time and space. Now, the interpretation can be different that I'm isolated, I'm alone, I'm lonely. No, you have that time, it has been given to you for you to expand your horizons, expand your world, expand your knowledge. And that can happen if you follow a consistent pattern for yourself in terms of dividing your time for whatever is needed, whatever is necessary, whatever is casual, whatever is literally bindas, and whatever is relaxing. It doesn't have to be in the same, oh no, 9 to 10 I have to do this and 10 to 12 I have to. No, you can change those patterns. But the constancy comes from you following a consistent pattern. That explains it, Shri. Shri?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, beautifully. Yes, I very well relate to that because, like you mentioned, aptly, it actually enhances our knowledge and the digital all these things. But yeah, how we use it and how we limit ourselves not to overdo it.
Yeah,
Absolutely, ma'am. I completely agree with that.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
welcome. And yes, Bhuvana.
Yes, ma'am. What I gathered is a constancy in how I'm interpreting this whole thing is we need to flow constantly and consistently. Even if our routine is boring, we need to find a way to flow in that. And even if there's a change, we need to flow in that. And that's the constant.
Exactly. Bravo. Wonderful, Bhuvana.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Thank you.
wonderful interpretation. Yes, you got it. Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Great. So I think we've done pretty well for ourselves today. So thank you. Yes, Pratiksha. Last question. There's going to be 11.
So, would it be right to say that perfectionism is just putting in your 100% at any given point in time?
No, perfectionism is relaxing and doing things with complete dedication, whatever it is. Even if you're just sort of singing or dancing, give your complete dedication. Perfectionism will
Mhm.
flow out of it. Don't get stuck with
Right.
perfectionism. You have to let it go. IR5, my relation to perfectionism.
Yeah, I think the most important word takeaway for me today is flow. I need to put it up in big bold letters.
Absolutely. Write it in big bold letters. You can make that a perfect chart and put it on your
Yeah, I probably
table.
put
But
waves and everything and just write flow.
you know what you should do? Follow my advice. Draw it
Hmm.
or splash it and then take color, whatever
Hmm.
watercolor or poster colors or something. Put your hands, mess your hands with it. Take either blobs or just mess your hands with it and just splash it on a piece of paper. Okay? And put it in various
I've been
colors.
wanting to do that for a long time.
Do it and just splash it either with hand stamps or just splashing it. Okay? And this
Right.
whole chaos will also show you the perfection.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Do that and please post it in the group. We want anyone else can also do it. Just throw colors, literally throw, not from very close, a little distance, and just throw it and let the blobs come. You can decide where to put your blobs and then just shake the paper here and there a little bit. Let the colors mix, let it all happen, and then see what a beautiful landscape you're going to create. That is perfectionism. And each one's
Right.
perfectionism is going to be different because once the colors settle, there will be a constancy.
Hmm.
Got it? Can I
Yep.
give this
Thank
as an
you.
exercise today? Please do it. Whoever can, whoever has colors, I'm sure you can have those colors or whatever colors you have. Throw, literally throw, and then do it. Okay? So,
Yep. Thank you so much.
thank you. And thank you all. To tomorrow, there will be no Fulsome Friday because I have to travel out of town. At that point, I will be on the road literally. So I'll see you now on Monday. Okay? All the best. Have a great weekend, everyone, and see you on Monday. Bye bye.